So we are with Paul from Revo, one of our gold partners. So thank you very much for joining me in this impromptu interview right at Spark. So I have a couple of questions for you. And so hopefully we'll get into the swing of things. I'd just like to pick your brain on a few things. So we'll start off easy. So first of all, what are the most common requests that you tend to see and get on the service desk or for customers that you come across?
So on our service desk, and because obviously we manage a lot of other customers' Xurrent environments, so it's typically around kind of how do I questions in Xurrent, how does particular functionality work, how can I best leverage this kind of functionality, all the way through to kind of can we help build workflows out for them. And we've got this kind of particular business process. How can Xurrent enable that, and how can we use the platform to best get value from it?
Yeah. And how often does it take for you to solve those to get them closed?
It varies massively. I mean, obviously some of these more complex business processes can be a few weeks.
Yeah.
But typically, how do I questions and things like that. We're pretty well versed in Xurrent by this point, so we can.
I'd like to hope so.
we can typically answer pretty quickly.
Okay, nice. And what's next is, why does ITSM matter so much? We've been in this industry for quite some time now, if anything more than 10 years. And we hear this question quite a lot about people questioning whether ITSM is dead or is it alive. Why do you think it matters so much?
I think it's very much alive, but maybe if I could expand it out to just general service management, because ultimately the whole world is kind of services now, right? Everything that we do on a day-to-day basis is always consuming services. Somebody needs to keep those services running. Somebody needs to make sure that they're available, they're resilient, they're supported, and that's where service management matters. Because if we don't have good service management, then things start to go wrong.
Yeah. And what do you think one of those things are that starts to go wrong?
I mean, the worst one for me is just if a service provider isn't communicating. So it's just, something has gone wrong.
Yeah.
You log it with whoever's providing the service and you just get nothing back.
Yeah.
That's the worst one for me. Whether it can be fixed or not, if you just hear nothing back.
Would you say that this is a really common pain point that a lot of industries face, not necessarily just within the software and the tech industry, but just IT teams and non-IT teams all around?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's one of the core things that everybody needs to get right.
Yeah.
Even beyond the ability to fix and things like that, it's the communication.
Okay, nice. That's a great answer. So we've been talking a lot about AI lately. In the product roadmap session that Phil had done, we also went through what's next within Xurrent, what we currently have. What are you most excited about from the announcements that we showed today?
I mean, there's absolutely tons of really exciting AI stuff coming.
What's got your attention the most?
So the thing that I'm really looking forward to are the Agentic skills that are coming into Xurrent. I think they're going to be a massive game changer kind of throughout all of the different practices that Xurrent supports. I think they're going to be massive. And also obviously we've got the specialist assist coming in. I think that's also going to really help people kind of speed up their ability to answer tickets.
What kind of productivity drivers or metrics do you think is going to be really key for people to measure once they see this in action and once they're actually using it?
I mean, I would hope that things like time to resolution is going to improve, and first contact, first contact rate is going to improve.
Are these metrics that you hear people saying that they want to see more of, or that they're this is what we're really focused on right now?
Yeah, because ultimately, I mean, it goes back to partly to the communication piece, but I mean, the earlier that you can get to the right solution, the quicker things are going to be resolved, the happier the customer's going to be.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that can be at the first point of contact, either by an agent or by a human using an agent, then it improves the service for everybody.
Nice. And then in terms of the AI capabilities that we already have today and the customers that you work with, what are they enjoying the most? Tell me, since you're the boots on the ground, I'd love to hear more.
So I think the AI summary, the request summary, is super popular.
Yeah.
Absolutely everybody loves that. Really easy to just go into a ticket, get a summary of it, and you're fully up to date.
Yeah.
So that's really useful. The language translations as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, with lots of large global multinational companies, that really helps them. Everybody can communicate in their own language.
Yeah.
Xurrent takes the legwork out of all of the translations.
Okay, nice. So we also talked about iPaaS, and iPaaS is a big topic for us at the moment. I won't drill too much into the iPaaS for you, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on what we've announced so far. What are you really excited about?
I mean, the ability to leverage the iPaaS as a whole. pretty much every organization now doesn't just have an isolated service management tool. It is always plugged into other things.
Yeah.
And the native ability that Xurrent's about to gain to be able to plug into those other tools will really be a game changer for everybody.
Yeah, one of the things that we certainly have been talking a lot about in our messaging and in our marketing as well is about how iPaaS is really going to help reach deeply like into an organization or a business's technology stack. I think that's really important when you want to look at how things become more connected and also improve like the end user experience and the user experience for everybody, because you're helping to reduce those pain points and that level of friction that exists because of the silos you have between systems. So if you had an opportunity to build something yourself on iPaaS, what would be the first thing that you would like to build?
Oh, that's a really interesting one. Probably something around AI because it's topical.
Yeah.
And it's just an interesting field at the moment.
So do you mean like plugging in an AI agent like Claude or Copilot into it and using an iPaaS to coordinate that?
Yeah, maybe something like that, or maybe connecting into the Xurrent MCP server, putting something at the end of it, and kind of leveraging that, maybe some natural language and things like that.
What's the use case that you would have for something like that then? Like how would you envision that being used like on a day-to-day?
I mean, obviously with the MCP server, you can kind of talk to then Xurrent at the point that you want that you're at, right? So if you're already in a Claude project or already in a Copilot chat or something like that, using the MCP, it can just kind of dovetail into then your existing workflow.
Okay, interesting. Let's move on to around ITSM in general. So you've done a lot of implementations for many customers. I'm curious to hear like what's the usual sort of implementation time from contract signature to go live that you've experienced?
So I guess from a normal IT example, you're talking maybe a matter of weeks. So I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 weeks for incident, problem, CMDB, your normal IT scope. But because of the Xurrent architecture, it can be as quick as just a week or two. So for kind of simpler use cases where we're just talking, request management and things like that, the way that Xurrent's architected will allow you to do it in a fraction of the time.
And with the team that you have, like roughly like how many people tend to be like working on this project if it's that's at that scale and speed?
So for a smaller project, we'll typically have one person working on it at any time, plus obviously a project manager. But then if it's a larger project, especially if it involves integrations as well, then we'll typically have maybe a couple of service management people and then an integration engineer as well.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.